You look at the roster now as it stands with Horford, with Isaiah Thomas, we'll say Avery Bradley's in that starting lineup going along with Gordon Hayward. As is, how do you see those pieces fitting together? Despite that relationship with Brad Stevens, which is great, what about the relationship on the court with the pieces they have?
They're going to be fine because there really was no clear number two. I mean, I love Al Horford, but he's a deferring offensive player. Avery Bradley is kind of, and even though I really like him as a player, I think you look at him and there's certain nights where he doesn't have a great scoring output, and it's not a huge shock either, where it was always on Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas had to keep this offense going, and that's why he turned to this MVP conversation type player this year. But a lot of it was just the fact that he was so clearly the alpha and was going to take all these shots that they actually become easier to defend that way. And we saw that happen a couple times in the playoffs last year. You can just sell out against him, and Cleveland did that early. Obviously, he ended up with the hip injury, and that played a part in this. I thought the Wizards were incredibly inconsistent, but at times when they would slow Boston down, they'd make sure they'd keep two defenders with them because you could kind of ignore other guys. Now you can't do that with Gordon Hayward. So what happens, and it kind of blows my mind, I guess I should never be too surprised, but it turns into this, Gordon Hayward, you guys are going to beat the Cavs, though. So what are we doing here, then? Are we only waiting for deals that guarantee we get past Cleveland or get past Golden State? Because if you do that, then you might as well just not pay any GMs because you just, like, those moves are not available. You keep adding talent. You overpay for it. Doesn't matter. That's the rule in free agency. Keep adding these pieces, and now you may be even a more likely destination for the next guy that wants to move on, and they have the pieces for it. They needed a second creative scorer, and they got it. I'm not saying he's perfect, but if you're waiting for perfect, you're going to wait forever.
It's a major upgrade. And you're right. Their second scorer, they did it by committee. I mean, Kelly Olynyk had to knock down all those threes in that key decisive game. Well, he's gone now. He's one of the many pieces that leaves to get Hayward. But here's what you get in Hayward. You get a complete offensive player. He is that, and he's getting better. But he can shoot the ball. He can take it to the rack. He can create for others. And he'll take the heat off of Isaiah not having to do it himself all the time. And that's the way it was before. Hayward has this physical build now. He's bigger. He can get to the rim and finish. You see the mid-range game and the ability to pull up, spin, fade. He can make tough shots under pressure. And then he's been able to run and finish. So if they play fast, if they play slow, he's going to score the ball. He averaged 22 a game. Highly efficient, shooting 47% and shooting 40% from three, and he's getting better at making plays. Isaiah says, hallelujah, thank you. Batman has a Robin, and they may switch off every once in a while, but it's a dynamic duo that at least makes them relevant against the Cavs.
What's one more thing they need?
Rebounding, and they need something at the front of the rim to be more matchup specific, I think, against some other teams. And look, Angel as many shooters as you possibly can because that's today's game. But this is a win. This is a win for the Celtics. They end up getting a free agent that a bunch of teams would have loved to have. Is he perfect? Is he a top 10 player? No, but this is, you do these things. You know, people looked at him last year like, do you want to pay that much for Horford? You add all these little things together, and then you hope you continue to become a place that other players will want to go to, and that's what Boston's doing. Yeah,
they need rim protection. They still have nobody back there to protect that rim on dribble penetration. It's going to be harder to find. But they're more of a destination now. Like JaVale McGee went to the Warriors on a small minimum kind of deal and resurrected his career. You look for other bigs to do that in this case.